Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at some sources that view life as this sort of cycle, planting, growing, harvesting.
Right, but framed as a spiritual principle, not just farming.
Exactly. It's this idea that your actions today really truly shape your future. Very intentional. And the core idea, the foundation in these texts, is often that phrase from Galatians. A man reaps what he sows.
Okay, but what's interesting is how they frame it. It's presented as more than just, planting corn and getting corn. It's a spiritual law.
A spiritual law. So different from just cause and effect in the natural world.
Yes, because it's about character. It suggests that sowing good character like kindness, integrity yields a harvest related to your inner life, your spiritual standing, not necessarily just a direct physical return.
Okay, that makes sense. It's woven into your development then.
Precisely. The input isn't just effort in a task, it's things like love, hope, service.
All right, so let's dig into that. Our mission here is to quickly unpack the specific seeds the sources say we should be planting and what kind of harvest we can expect. First up is
Love.
love, yes. Defined broadly, kindness, compassion, forgiveness. Sowing these, the sources assure, brings back, well, sheaves of the same kind. Relational richness, inner peace.
There's a really interesting point in the material about love being the soil in which faith flourishes. That feels foundational.
It is. And it also touches on something important. God honors the act of sowing love, the effort itself, even if it's not returned immediately by the person you showed kindness to.
Exactly. That's the spiritual versus the transactional view. If you're only planting love expecting something back from that person, that's more like a natural exchange.
Oh, okay.
The spiritual law implies your effort is noted, let's say, cosmically. The harvest is guaranteed in terms of your own character growth and spiritual depth, regardless of the other person's reaction.
So love is the soil. What about staying motivated, staying diligent? That brings us to the second seed, which is hope. No, wait, how is this different from faith? Isn't planting hope sort of like planting faith?
That's a really good question. Faith is maybe the anchor, the core belief. Hope, as described here, is more the active expression of that belief.
Okay.
It's defined not as just wishful thinking, but as confidence anchored in the promises of God. So sowing hope means actively doing things like encouraging others, pointing to light in dark times, reminding people of God's faithfulness when they're down.
So it's proactive encouragement, really.
Proactive encouragement, yes. And the harvest. It strengthens your own faith, sure, but it also strengthens, as the source puts it, weary hearts and lifts troubled souls. You plant stability for others, you reap it reinforced in yourself.
Makes sense. Now, moving beyond these internal virtues, the sources talk a lot about our actions, our work. They call it work for the master.
Right. Every good deed, every kind word spoken truthfully, acts of service, it's all seen as being gathered like sheaves in the harvest field of the Lord, part of that ultimate accounting.
And they get specific about what counts, don't they?
They do. It's striking. They highlight even the smallest acts, specifically mentioning offering a cup of cold water in his name.
Why that detail, do you think?
Well, it seems designed to counter the idea that only grand gestures matter. The world might not notice your quiet, consistent faithfulness day to day,
Right.
but the Savior, as the text says, never overlooks it. It emphasizes consistency over spectacle.
Which leads to the challenge of keeping going.
Right.
Especially when you don't see immediate results, that weariness factor.
Absolutely. And the sources address that head on. There's this direct advice. Do not grow weary in sowing these seeds. Love, hope, faithfulness. So every season matters, good times and bad. Every season is an opportunity. Sunny, stormy, doesn't matter. It's all time you can use to plant things that honor God. It's presented as the ultimate long game strategy. Focus on character input. Trust the harvest timing.
So for you listening, the takeaway seems to be shifting from just passively believing to actively, diligently planting and trusting the Lord of the harvest with the timing and results.
And if you follow that logic to its conclusion, the source offers this really powerful image of the final reward. It asks you to picture standing before Christ eventually.
Okay.
Your arms filled with the sheaves of goodness, kindness, faith, and perseverance, all those seeds you planted. What could be better than knowing your efforts truly mattered in the end?
Yeah, that's quite a powerful image. Puts the day-to-day efforts in perspective. It really does. And it leaves us with a final thought, maybe a challenge for you. The ultimate moment described as hearing, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Come in and rejoice with me." So the question to ask yourself right now is, what kind of sheaves are you actually planting today for your future harvest?